why don't I just say thank you, all of you, for joining us. I've had a chance to meet a number of you on my previous visits here to Brazil, and it's a pleasure to make some new acquaintances. Today is a special day, Rodrigo. I want to congratulate you and the team and our partners that are here on something that I personally believe is going to be very powerful, both for Brazil, but for entrepreneurs and new companies that we haven't even thought about yet. And I wanted to share with you that there's a special relationship I have with Brazil. Our chairman and chief executive, John Chambers, has asked each of his direct reports. I report to John Chambers. He's asked us to become the sponsor for a country, and for that country's objectives, and for the relationship that we have as a company with $50 billion of revenue, with 75,000 talented employees. But sometimes when you look outside the United States, it's important to realize that the goals of a country are unique. They're different. They're specific to that country. And I volunteered to be the executive sponsor for Brazil. I had to interview with the team here to make sure they wanted to accept me as their sponsor. Fortunately, I was acceptable. And so it's a very special relationship I have with Brazil, and it's one that allows me to interact very frequently and visit the country very frequently. We are actually very committed to advance the agenda of the government and of its citizens, to drive innovation, to drive growth, to drive job creation, to make better education and healthcare, make it inclusive to all of the people of Brazil. The Center of Innovation is unique. And when you get a chance to visit with us in the next few hours and revisit as we follow up on today's launch, you'll really understand that this is a capability. What we're trying to do here is to invite partners, local partners, to create new things based on the platforms that Cisco has developed in its 30 years. That's the idea. And the idea isn't for us to come in and take the profits out. It's to build local companies who can take advantage of the things that are unique to Brazil. It's to bring venture capital together with platforms and innovation, to connect the universities and entrepreneurs and broadband policy, which actually creates this virtuous cycle of innovation. That's why we're here. Ecosystems, partnerships. I think I heard Rodrigo mention that several times. You'll hear that in all of the conversations we have. Partnering for Cisco is a natural behavior. It's natural to us. We think of it as part of our business model. So if we're successful here, we will create more value for the companies we partner with than we will for Cisco. That will be success for us. We'll create some new companies. They'll extract huge value, not only in serving the incredibly exciting markets inside of Brazil, but potentially exporting those innovations outside of Brazil. And everything I see as an observer is that the policies here are headed in the right direction to create a cycle of innovation which will be very, very significant. In 2012, Cisco committed to a program of investment and value creation of 1 billion real in Brazil. And I just want to say the following things. It's very easy for companies to make promises. It's rare when they live up to them. And as we sit and examine the promises we made in 2012, we promised to invest in venture capital. We've invested in 2 local venture capital funds, $21 million. We promised to bring local manufacturing of our technologies to Brazil. We announced the first of those on my last visit. We will continue to expand the portfolio of leading technologies that we manufacture in Brazil because it does create jobs. And it is important to create a stickiness between the customers we serve and the technology we deploy. We promise to collaborate with the government in policies that would be positive for investment. We promise to build this center. We're opening it today, and we will continue to live up to the promises we made because we're very committed to our partnership, and we want to be a great partner. We actually want to be the best partner with the country of Brazil. That's our objective. That's my objective as your sponsor. So when you look at the things we talk about today. I want you to think of our vision of the future at Cisco is a vision of the next wave of innovation in the internet. We've been around for 30 years. We have $50 billion of turnover. We have 75,000 talented employees. I lead a group of our engineering team that develops our technology, $6 billion of R&D. I lead 20,000 committed people that serve our customers around the world, and I lead a small team that's working on this construct of the Internet of Everything. What is that? Because everything we talk about today should be seen in the construct of the Internet of Everything. Cisco's been in existence for 30 years. We've been very successful. We've connected telephones, personal computers, and televisions around the world. We've connected 9.8 billion devices to the Internet protocol. It's been fun. It's 1% of the world's devices are connected. The things that aren't connected haven't yet been able to connect to the Internet protocol, to IP, to the Internet. What is the Internet? It's open. It fosters innovation. It's created Facebook. It's created Google. It's created new telecommunications and services. It is an enabler of innovation that no one can dispute. What we see and what the context of this center is to create solutions and software and capabilities that will capture the next 99% of the things that can be connected to the Internet. And it is so open, and it is so ripe with the natural advantages that Brazil brings to this conversation: manufacturing, resources, transformational policies for educational and healthcare. That's actually what it is. And so when you visit the demonstrations later, imagine that what we have only begun to do is connect the next 99% of the things in the world. That's our mission. It's a huge challenge. It's complicated. We love complicated things. And it will, in my opinion, foster a whole new wave of innovation and growth that I think Brazil is uniquely positioned to capture. So I want to thank you very much for inviting me. I want to thank my team for accepting me as their sponsor. And I would like to turn it over now to